There is perhaps no single physical trait on a woman that ignites more debate, more controversy, and more passionate opinion than tattoos. For some men, they are a sign of artistic expression, confidence, and edginess. For others, they are an immediate red flag, a sign of a troubled past, impulsivity, and poor judgment. But what does the psychology and the data actually suggest? Before we dive in, let's be crystal clear about the purpose of this video. This is not a video to shame, judge, or stereotype women with tattoos. That's a low-value, simplistic way of looking at the world. The purpose of this video is to explore the scientifically observed correlations between body modification and certain personality traits and behaviors. We're going to treat tattoos not as a judgment, but as a data point. These are the 11 potential risks, or more accurately, the psychological flags you should be aware of, so you can make an informed decision, not a prejudiced one. And number 11 is the most profound because it reframes your entire understanding of her relationship with her own body. This is about looking beyond the ink to understand the canvas. Number 1. Higher impulsivity. Multiple studies in the fields of psychology and dermatology have found a consistent correlation between the extent of tattooing and higher scores on impulsivity scales. Impulsivity is, psychologically speaking, a tendency to act on a whim, prioritizing immediate gratification over a careful consideration of long-term consequences. The decision to permanently mark one's body is a significant one. A person who does so, especially multiple times, may have a brain that is wired to say yes to the present moment's desires more readily than others. The risk in a relationship. This can manifest in ways that go far beyond ink. In a partnership, this can translate to a pattern of impulsive financial decisions, buying expensive things on a whim without discussing it. It can mean a sudden desire to quit a stable job or move to a new city without a plan. In moments of conflict, it can lead to saying hurtful things in the heat of the moment that are difficult to take back. You might find yourself with a partner whose life is a series of exciting but potentially unstable sprints rather than a steady marathon. The nuanced perspective. However, let's flip that coin. The flip side of impulsivity is spontaneity. This is the woman who will wake you up on a Saturday and say, "Let's drive to the coast right now." She is the embodiment of a yes to life. She will never be bogged down by overthinking or analysis paralysis. A relationship with her will be an adventure, a story full of unexpected twists and turns. The key question to ask yourself is, are you looking for a predictable, safe harbor, or are you ready for an exciting, unpredictable voyage? Number 2, a greater need for uniqueness. Tattoos are a powerful visual declaration of identity. Psychologically, they serve as a differentiator, a way to consciously separate oneself from the mainstream or the perceived norm. This is often driven by a deep-seated need to feel special, to be seen as an individual, and to reject conformity. The risk in a relationship. This strong need for uniqueness can sometimes bleed into a contrarian or oppositional nature. She might resist traditional relationship labels like girlfriend or be hesitant about marriage because they feel too conventional or like a loss of her carefully crafted identity. Compromise might be interpreted as a threat to her individuality, leading to conflicts over things that seem minor to you but are major to her sense of self. The nuanced perspective. On the other hand, you are with a woman who is guaranteed not to be a follower. She has the courage to forge her own path and will not be swayed by peer pressure. She is an original. This means she will inspire you to be more authentic, to question your own conditioning, and to live a life that is true to you, not one dictated by society. She isn't just a partner, she's a catalyst for your own individuality. Number 3, higher sensation seeking. This is a well-documented personality trait in psychological research. Sensation-seeking is a desire for novel, varied, and intense experiences, and the willingness to take physical, social, and financial risks for the sake of such experiences. Studies have consistently shown that individuals with tattoos, particularly multiple tattoos, score higher on sensation-seeking scales. The risk in a relationship. This trait can be a major source of both passion and chaos. High sensation seeking has been correlated in some studies with a higher number of past sexual partners and a greater statistical likelihood of infidelity, as the novelty of a new partner can be a powerful draw. It can also manifest as a need for constant drama or excitement, making a stable, peaceful relationship feel boring to her. The nuanced perspective. Let's be honest, this is also the trait that leads to an incredibly passionate and exciting life. She will be the one who wants to go skydiving, travel to exotic places, and explore every facet of physical intimacy. A relationship with her is unlikely to ever fall into a rut. The crucial distinction to make is whether she seeks healthy excitement, adventure, passion, growth, or unhealthy chaos, drama, infidelity, instability. Number 4. A potentially complicated past. This is the most common stereotype, but it does have a basis in some psychological findings. Studies, particularly in clinical psychology, have found correlations between extensive tattooing and histories of adversity, such as a difficult childhood or traumatic events. For some individuals, tattoos are a deeply symbolic way to process pain, mark survival, or reclaim ownership of a body that was once a site of trauma. The ink can be a form of armor, the risk in a relationship. You may be entering a partnership with someone who has significant emotional wounds. This can manifest as trust issues, emotional volatility, or unhealthy coping mechanisms. A relationship with a trauma survivor requires an immense amount of patience, empathy, and emotional stability from you. You cannot be her savior. You can only be a supportive partner as she does her own healing work. The nuanced perspective. This also means you are with a survivor. A woman who has faced the darkest parts of life and is still here, fighting and expressing herself, is a woman of almost unimaginable strength and resilience. She will have a depth of character and an appreciation for life that a person who has never suffered can never possess. Number 5. A different relationship with authority. Historically and culturally, tattoos have been the mark of the outsider, the rebel, the person who operates outside of conventional societal structures. While they are more mainstream now, for many, they still carry that symbolic weight of anti-authoritarianism. The risk in a relationship. She may have a natural, almost allergic reaction to being told what to do. This can create friction if you have a more traditional view of relationship dynamics. She may question rules, both societal and relational, and will likely resist any dynamic that feels like you are exerting control over her. The nuanced perspective. This is a woman who thinks for herself. She is not a sheep. She will question the status quo, fight for the underdog, and challenge you to think more critically about the world. She is a partner who sees you as an equal, not a superior, and will demand a relationship built on mutual respect, not hierarchy. Number 6. Higher openness to experience. This is one of the Big 5 personality traits that form the foundation of modern personality psychology. People high in openness are intellectually curious, creative, emotionally aware, and have a deep appreciation for art and beauty. The link to tattoos as a form of art is clear. The risk in a relationship. High openness is also correlated with a propensity to question traditions and social norms. This can include questioning the institution of marriage or the structure of traditional monogamy. Her mind is open, which means she is open to all possibilities, which can be unsettling for a partner seeking a more conventional life path. The nuanced perspective. A relationship with a woman high in openness will never be intellectually or emotionally stagnant. She will introduce you to new music, new art, new food, new philosophies. She will have a rich inner world and engage you in deep, meaningful conversations that expand your own mind and soul. Number 7. Potential peer group influence. No decision is made in a vacuum. The choice to get tattooed is often heavily influenced by a person's social environment and subculture. Her identity may be deeply intertwined with her social circle. The risk in a relationship. You are not just dating her. You are, to some extent, dating her friends. If her primary social group is unstable, involved in a heavy party scene, or holds values that are fundamentally incompatible with your own, their influence will be a constant source of friction in your relationship. The nuanced perspective. You might also be welcomed into a vibrant, loyal, and incredibly supportive community. You could gain a whole new set of friends who are artistic, authentic, and fiercely loyal. This social circle could become a powerful and positive force in your own life. Number 8, a different approach to pain. The process of getting a tattoo is, by definition, the act of willingly and patiently enduring physical pain for the sake of a desired aesthetic or symbolic outcome. This reveals a unique psychological relationship with pain. The risk in a relationship. Some clinical theories suggest that for certain individuals, this can be linked to a need to feel something physically to distract from emotional numbness, or even as a form of self-punishment. This could point to underlying emotional dysregulation that might surface in the relationship. The nuanced perspective. More often, this demonstrates immense grit and mental fortitude. You are with a woman who is not afraid of discomfort to achieve a goal. She understands on a visceral level that growth requires pain, that beauty can come from suffering, and that temporary hardship is worth the long-term result. This is a mindset that builds a resilient and powerful life. Number 9. She wears her book cover on her skin. Her tattoos are a deliberate act of external signaling. They are a curated summary of her story, her values, her passions, her past, and her identity, displayed for the entire world. She is telling you who she is before she even opens her mouth. The risk in a relationship. The primary risk is your own misinterpretation. You might see a skull and think death and aggression, while she sees it as a memento mori, a reminder to live life to the fullest. You are judging her book by a cover you don't yet know how to read, which can lead to fundamental misunderstandings. The nuanced perspective. She has given you a cheat sheet to her soul. She is not hiding. She is an open book. This level of transparency and authenticity is rare and can be the foundation for a deeply honest relationship where both partners feel safe to be their true selves. Number 10. The package deal of social judgment. When you are in a relationship with a heavily tattooed woman, you are also in a relationship with the way society perceives her. Whether you like it or not, she may face judgment from your conservative family members, potential employers, or strangers on the street. The risk in a relationship. This judgment will become a test of your character. Will you be embarrassed? Will you ask her to cover up around your parents? Will you stand up for her? If you are not secure enough in yourself to handle the external judgment, your weakness will be a constant source of resentment and will likely destroy the relationship. The nuanced perspective. This is the ultimate loyalty test. By standing with her, defending her against unfair judgment, you forge an incredibly powerful us against the world bond. This shared experience can create a level of trust and partnership that many conventional couples never achieve. And number 11, her body is a sovereign nation. This is the most profound and important concept to grasp. A woman who extensively tattoos her body has, at a deep level, declared that her body belongs to her and her alone. It is not for her parents, it is not for society, it is not for a future husband, and it is not for you. It is her canvas, her story, her sovereign territory, and she is its sole ruler. The risk in a relationship. She may never cede that sovereignty. Her sense of self, as expressed through her body, may always take precedence over the we of the relationship. This can be challenging for a man who desires a more traditional, merged, two-become-one dynamic. You have to be okay with the fact that you are a welcome visitor in her nation, not its co-ruler. The nuanced perspective. You are with a woman of supreme self-possession. She does not need a man to feel complete, to validate her choices, or to give her permission. She is an independent entity, a whole person on her own. And for a truly confident, high-value man, a strong, independent woman is not a threat. She is the ultimate partner. So, after all of this, what's the verdict? The verdict is that a tattoo is one of the most powerful data points you can be given about a person's psychology. It can signal impulsivity, a need for uniqueness, and a complicated past. It can also signal resilience, creativity, courage, and a powerful sense of self. The ultimate risk is not dating a woman with tattoos. The ultimate risk is being a man who is too lazy to look past the data point and see the human being. Use this knowledge not to make snap judgments, but to ask better questions. See a rebellious tattoo? Ask her what she's passionate about fighting for. See a tattoo marking a painful memory? Create a safe space for her to share her story of resilience. The ink is just the beginning of the story. Your job is to be man enough to read the rest. Now, this is a controversial one, and I want a respectful debate in the comments. What is your honest take? Are these correlations real and meaningful, or are they outdated stereotypes? Let's discuss it. If this video gave you a new, more nuanced perspective, do me a favor and smash that like button, subscribe for more deep dive psychology, and hit that notification bell. Stay curious. I'll see you in the next one.